This is a presentation by the City of Minneapolis Public Works, Transportation, Engineering, and Design Division with information related to the proposed 2021 alley resurfacing project special assessments. A special assessment is a tax collected by the city for improvements or services that the city provides that benefit your property. This slide shows the topics we will be covering in the presentation, which include how assessments are calculated, interest rates and the term of the assessment, payment options, and information about the public hearing. We will also list resources and contact information if you have any questions about your assessment. There are two components that are used to calculate special assessments for alley improvement projects in Minneapolis. The first component is the square footage of the properties abutting the alley to be improved. The second component is the uniform assessment rate for the proposed improvement. Assessments are calculated by multiplying the parcel square footage by the uniform assessment rate. We will explain both of these assessment components in more detail in the next two slides. Uniform assessment rates are reviewed and updated annually and approved by City Council. The uniform assessment rate is the same for each type of improvement for all similar projects throughout the city. The 2021 uniform assessment rate for alley resurfacing projects is 7 cents per square foot for both residential and non-residential properties. Again, this uniform assessment rate is the rate that is multiplied by the parcel square footage to calculate each assessment amount. The square footage of all properties that abut the alley to be improved is included in the assessment calculation. These properties are assessed for the alley improvement regardless of the current location of the driveway or other configuration of the property. In this sample alley illustration, all of the properties shaded in blue and pink would be assessed for the alley improvement, while those in white would not, because they don't abut the alley. This slide illustrates how your assessment is calculated using the dimensions of a standard residential lot. Our sample lot for the calculation then is 40 feet wide by 125 feet long. The total square footage is determined by multiplying the length by the width. So we'll multiply 40 by 125 for a total of 5,000 square feet. This number is then multiplied by the uniform assessment rate, which is 7 cents per square foot, for a total assessment of $350 for this lot. Since not all parcels are the same size, your assessment amount may vary from your neighbors. Assessments over $150 will be collected in 5 annual installments. Assessment of $150 or less will be collected in 1 installment. To pay the assessment on these terms, you do not need to take any action in advance. They will be collected through Hennepin County property taxes after they are levied, typically beginning the year after construction. Once they are levied, simple interest is added to the assessments at a rate that is tied to the sale of municipal bonds used to fund the project. The interest rate is calculated by the Minneapolis Finance Department. The current interest rate for 5-year assessments to be levied in 2022 is 2.4%. The rate for 1-year assessments to be levied in 2022 is 2.1%. The interest is calculated based on the unpaid balance, so the interest amount decreases slightly each year. Let's go back to the sample assessment calculation we saw in an earlier slide. Our sample assessment amount was $350. Divided up over 5 years, this would result in an annual principal payment of $70. Adding in the simple interest, this would bring the annual payment to approximately $78. If you wish to prepay the assessment to avoid paying interest, please request a prepay invoice by contacting the Special Assessment Office at the email address listed on this slide and in your public hearing notice. Payment must be in full. Partial payments are not accepted. If you do not prepay the assessment, you can still pay off the remaining balance at any time during the assessment and avoid paying some of the interest. To get the payoff amount, you can contact the Special Assessments Office. There is a deferment option available for seniors 65 and older, individuals who are permanently and totally disabled, and certain military personnel. To qualify for this program, the property must be homesteaded and the assessment must be $750 or more. Please note that this only defers the payment until some point in the future. It does not reduce or eliminate the assessment. The amount is added to your property taxes and continues to accrue interest until the property is sold or changes homestead status. For more information on this program, please contact Paul Keating in the Special Assessment Office. A public hearing will be held to allow for public comment on this proposed project. During the declared local public health emergency for COVID-19, Minneapolis has transitioned to an electronic format for its public meetings and hearings. The date and time of the hearing is listed in the public hearing notice you received. Ways to participate in the public hearing are detailed at minneapolis.mn.gov/government/meetings. You are not required to participate in the public hearing. If you wish to object to the assessment, you may write a letter and send it to the city clerk's office or email the city clerk at the email address listed on this slide and in your public hearing notice. Your written objection must be received no later than the date and time of the public hearing. You also have the option of objecting by providing live comments by phone. Anyone interested should fill out a form found under the Participate by Phone in the Meeting link. Once submitted, a phone number and conference code will be emailed to you. Objecting using any of these options preserves your right to appeal to district court. If you have general questions about the assessment process or questions specific to your property's assessment, we encourage you to email the Special Assessment Office for more information. If you don't have email, you can also contact the Special Assessment Office at 612-673-2401 and leave a voicemail. Staff will return your call as soon as possible. If you have questions related to the project, such as when the work will be done, access issues during construction, etc., please contact the project manager at the number listed in your public hearing notice letter. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. Additional information is located on the Special Assessment website listed on this slide. There is also a frequently asked questions sheet that can hopefully answer any questions you may have, or you can email the Special Assessment Office for more information.